G'day team, how are we? It's been a while. So yeah, decided Muzz and I have had a chat and we were going to jump on have a live today and catch up on the goss. Because it's been a while and, you know, for those that aren't local to me, don't know what's going on in life. And it's some pretty exciting news that I want to share with the group. And then how that is relevant to the businesses that Muzz and I discuss on the thing. So when Muzz gets on, I wonder if I can add him. Let's try. Anyway. We'll just swipe this way, that way. Muzz will get on when he finds me. So yeah, big news to share. Lots of things going on in life, lots of stressful things, and that's part of being, I suppose, a fucking leader, someone who creates their own path, right? So for someone who creates their own path, there is going to be challenges and blockages, and you have to forge your own thing. Like, imagine the guys having to create the farmland out here. They had to drive through the bush. There was no roads, it wasn't built. So you make your own road, and then you clear a farm, and you know that's what they all did before us. So we just live in the benefit of that. So imagine me, in a business sense, forging my own path on what is business names and empires and all these big fancy words that will take time to go to fruition, but there's all this work that goes on with it. It's not just running a farm anymore. So Murray, I've seen him pop up. So this is what's going on. You know? Lots and pathways and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it's been great. So here's Muzz.
G'day gang, how are we?
Mate, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been a hot minute or three.
Yeah, so I'll ask, before I start rambling on with my good news, Muzz, what's happening in your life that we haven't explained to the people in the last 3 or 4 months since we've done a live?
What haven't we explained?
So yeah, you're back to uni.
I'm back, so which is good. I have begun my actual course within university, which is good. So for regenerative agriculture, this term currently is further introduction into university life, which is good. I mean, they push a lot of academic integrity and respect and all that sort of stuff, which is really good, especially with people who are actually on the campus in Lismore, New South Wales there. Mm-hmm. But no, and I start next term. So yeah, look out.
Cool. So how does that affect your online business? Because I know with seeding and stuff, I completely dropped the ball and focused on other things for a couple of months. And we haven't been posting a huge amount in the group. But it's like, so how does regenerative agriculture lead into your personal brand for your online business? Do they coexist?
Look, to be honest, I haven't been online. People who follow me on MurrayJPens will know that I haven't been on there since last year. And so you haven't dropped the ball as bad as I have, Stuart. But as time goes by, I think it will tie in quite nicely because it's who I am. I mean, you know, with things happening in the background, things are changing, etc., etc. But it's still me. It's what I'm passionate about. And if I actually took the online stuff seriously again, what it comes down to is that it shouldn't interfere. I mean, it's just a little bit extra time online. As it is at the moment, I should be aiming to be on the computer minimum of 3 hours a day studying. Mm-hmm. But what happens is I miss a day or two, so then I have to spend a whole day studying. So that just shows how Murray's organisation has improved greatly.
Yeah.
So, but no, look, it's. I think it can only help.
Yeah, it is, and it's a change in people's lives. So like how, you know, with online businesses and business courses and unis and stuff. So I've done the online uni myself, 2015, 2016. I was trying to do that 3 hours a night after going to work all day, working in Perth, trying to do a master's of business administration degree.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much too much was the way, you know, it was just a lot. You know, working 12-hour days in Perth digging holes and family stuff. And then you don't look at the computer till 8 p.m. So then you're not, you know, kids are in bed by 8. They were little. And then you're studying till 11, and then you've got to be back at the workshop at 6. So you're up at 5 to be back at the workshop at 6, and you're not really getting good sleep, and you're not really focusing on the whole lot. So, you know, I had to, when the opportunity to pause that came along, I took the pause. And then when I came home to the farm, I went, I don't need that course to run this farm. But I did learn some things, you know. So, you know, there was a level of semi-completion, but there's no, you know, I didn't do enough to get a certificate through the thing, but I did plenty of months.
Yeah. Did you find there was anything from that? I mean, you said like you didn't need it. You didn't need to finish it to do what you're doing now. But was there anything you can take away from that for your benefit now?
Definitely. So the learning that degree for me,
yes,
the thing that didn't align was you only have to be half right. So to pass a course, you only have to get 50%. And what a Masters of Business Administration degree, master's degree gives you is the right, not right, but the intellectual ability to theoretically run large companies.
Yeah,
because I went in the course of going, you know, if I can't farm, why don't I go try and run Coles, Woolies, you know, West Farmers, or, you know, aim big. Go run a multi-big company. Like, why not?
Go all out.
I get my stock report on the West Farmers shares and see how much that bloke owns and what does he do in the office. Takes a couple of board meetings every so often. Like, life wouldn't be that hard. Make a few decisions, take a bit of responsibility. Yeah, sure. But in that master's course, learning what they were teaching didn't align with how I want to run the farm business or whatever, because you can't be 50% right on farm. You have to be 90 to 100% right 90 to 100% of the time. You know, you got to try and be 100% right 100% of the time. Otherwise, you're just not making money. You're not efficient. So to go, I only got to be half right. Like, it's like, do I just go put in half a paddock and expect the full paddock to grow? It doesn't work like that. So you know, the way that the course was taught was scripted to an older system of education and business. And I didn't align with that. No. And plus trying to do it at night after focusing on little kids and work in a new workplace and stuff was absolutely insane. Nothing short of.
And it's worse because there's a lot of people, you know, mature age students at uni that are in my classes and have been in my classes, similar boat as you, you know, full-time, if I'm employed or whatever with kids, like same thing as you. And I go and top marks. At least I have the freedom to work it in, you know, with my folks to take time off through the day. But I feel for them because I don't have that. And so you're trying to juggle all that. But then throwing on top of it what you've experienced, where you didn't, you know, it didn't align, the business model, the school model didn't agree with you. Why put yourself through that pain?
Yeah, and that was it. And then, so it took a few years from, and the journey from that mindset to go, all right, so then we go on farm and I'm sitting and not looking after small kids and go like, well, what do I do? How do I make extra income? And you go, oh, let's do something crazy. Let's start an online business. I can do that and that because the time online that we do and don't spend. You know, it was 2 years of trying and looking and watching from the outside before I committed to it. And I've now been doing it for 5 years. And now we've come to a pivot. You know, the beautiful journey is I did another business course of a different thing in end of February this year. which is, I've talked about along with the Sansoni thing and the Empire Mastery, and flew to Melbourne, did that business trip, got the vests and all that sort of stuff. So that was a mindset shift and a change, a decision I made to go, why am I going to be just a multi-millionaire farmer? Because we're all, the asset's big enough, we're all multi-millionaires, right? It's, you know, it's the sort of the norm. $1 million is nothing these days. It's a lot, but it's not. If I want to upgrade from that mindset, how am I going to become a billionaire? And then is that billionaire image and influence to other people, and how do I want to present myself and stuff like that? So today, because it's cold and windy, I'm dressed appropriately because I've been down the shed tinkering this morning and maintaining stuff. You know, but how do I evolve my business, you know, in the grand scheme of things? So from that, and this is where the story gets interesting, Muzz. From that, I've tried to scout more workmen to do stuff on farm, for me to be able to teach the farm so that I can do other things like, drum roll, buy a bakery.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, wow. That's huge news.
So through the system that I learnt off that guy, which is similar in its ways with mindset and thought processes as what we do with the online business. But what they planted to see was, you can have your cake and eat it too, for lack of a better description. So owning an asset and putting it under management. So I don't have to run my farm. Someone else can physically do it. It's not an impossibility, right? I'm not unique in any great scenario. So why don't I, if I want to go race cars or go take my son to country week hockey and have that couple of days, basically a week off, and know that sheep are going to get fed and stuff, you've got to teach someone. So to shift that mindset. And then we go, why would you buy a bakery? 2 reasons. It was for sale for a long time and they wanted to retire. So I went, approached, did all the due diligence. You take a look at the offer, you do your numbers, you get some advice, you talk to your accountant, you talk to bankers and all this sort of stuff. And you go, is it an asset worth buying? So as a cash flow asset, it's good for me. And the double bonus is it currently has no social media presence. So the lessons I've learned in this online business over the last 5 years, I now get to apply to this business, established business that has its own brand. I now get to, we talk about branding and understanding things and alignments. So I talked to my man Bobby just the other day. Yeah, I've done absolute crazy things. I've created another trust, another company to own the bakery. All this has been numerologically aligned to a degree for all these things. And now we've got all these plans for, because it's an online thing, I've got a new point of sale system. So you get a digitized point of sale system, touch screen. They're not uncommon, right? Dime a dozen. But to then put that into this bakery, which has actually got a handwritten, a punch key till and a handwritten ticket to do the orders. Why don't I just automate that? So we go, all right, so we got automation. That'll do the orders quick, makes it easy for the staff. And then we go, well, they've got a chalkboard for the menu. Why don't I get a TV screen instead and have a digital menu? Oh, let's do that too. So throwing all this technology into the bakery, so the bakery will have a social media account that the staff will run. Oh, today's special is pumpkin soup. Bang, snap on Instagram. And then the AI within the menu goes, right, that's today's special. That comes up on the screen every so often. And have you joined our loyalty program? I've got QR codes and stuff for the loyalty program. So you can, 1 in every 10, you buy 10 coffees, I'll give you a coffee for free. That sort of stuff. But if you're going to come in that often, why not have a coffee on me? That gets you more in. So, but having that awareness, the lessons learning from an online business to bring brand awareness, rebranding, and then all this magic stuff of what to call something. Research, can I call it that? Or is that copyrighted by someone else? and go.
Yes.
So there's this beautiful explosion that's going to happen shortly, and not just cash flow, monetary attraction, and all that sort of magic stuff, but it's part of a journey that I learnt from another system. So that the Empire Mastery system that I did, that was the course I did at the end of February, right? So how to create an empire. You know, all these billionaires have empires. Ryan Reynolds has a soccer team and a drink and whatever else he's done apart from Deadpool and stuff like that. And The Rock's not just a wrestler, he's now an actor, and he's got his gin drink or whatever he's doing. They've all got multi-stream incomes, which is what we talk about in the online space, is having a multi-stream income. So I've got the farm, and then we've got this. The beautiful thing about having a bakery is in clear view at the back, you can see part of the kitchen, you can see the sink. But what if I put a K8 in there? I'm now value adding my online business through, I'm melding all this business together between what I have at home and now getting product exposure in there where people come in, oh, what's that? Oh, you want to, I'll fill up your water bottle for free because you can't sell it. That's the rules. So we get all this beautiful marriage of stuff where I'm now going to own a bakery. So, and then all the staff are going to be happy because, one day we're going to have Muzz's magic muffins, and then the next day we're going to have Stewie's sensational soup, right? As it, to give a flavour from every staff member to put a bit of their essence in the bakery. It makes them feel part of the family type thing. So
100%.
That's actually what the loyalty program is going to be called. That will be released on, I might talk more about that on August 7th. There you go. This is numbers and stuff. So all will be revealed in good time for the magic.
Oh, good on you for the suspense, Stuart.
Yeah. But that is the magic of what is happening, like right now in the trenches, banks and settlement lawyers and real estate agents, and it's just paperwork, negotiation, paperwork, emails, email chains, and lenders and stuff like that. So there's a huge story outside of that, which will make a great documentary one day. It's one of the things. Like, I was watching a few reels, and it's come up a couple of times on the Instagram. The reel goes, if your life was a movie, what would the audience be screaming at you right now to do? Like everyone's watching you. This is your life movie. Like, it'll be so obvious to everyone else watching the movie. Like, so if you can think what is happening in your life and what would the audience be screaming at you to do, and would you do it? Would you have the balls to try? It is to be a different person. And another thing that come up on the social media is like, if the road in front of you is clear, it's someone else's road. But if the road in front of you isn't clear, you're forging your own path. So you're doing the right thing. So that's sort of, and I at the start of this video I used the reference of when the guys first come out here to clear the farms. There was no roads. They drove a tractor. Yep, right. We'll make a road here. We'll name it later. I want my farm to be here. Bang some pegs in, go for a drive. Yeah, got a couple of hectares. It's like, cool. Now we've got a farm. Now we've got to clear it. So they've had to do all that hard work to forge a path that was uncleared for me to inherit a cleared farm. And all that.
And that's
the mindset. It's all these things that you start to sit down and think with that, rather than doom scrolling on the toilet or whatever. Because people are guilty of that. I'm no innocent. Go in there, have a constitutional, scrolling through the phone.
100%.
But it's like,
we don't have the Farm Weekly done anymore. We've got our phones. So
yeah, but it's like, so what influence am I going to have in my life? There's no point in me sitting here going, oh, it's not raining. Oh, what am I going to do? Ring the bank, ask for more money. They're going to say no half the time. And in the realistic part of the world, at certain scales, and I'm feeling it through the family succession at the moment, is that the pressure of getting downsized a bit, you get down to a size where the banks start to squeeze you. Like a great person has said online somewhere, you can find the video. When you owe the bank $10 million, it's your problem. When you owe the bank $100 million, it's their problem. But if you pay your bills, and like when you get to $100 million in debt, and the banks come to you and go, how can we loan you more money? Because you're paying your bills. You don't get that far in debt and that big a scale of business without going into debt and be able to make your payments. So once you get to make payments, which is the reason why I'm buying a cash flow asset, is so I can continue to make all my payments non-seasonally influenced. Similar to an online business. So it's much the same. I've just bought a traditional business rather than having an online business. And I said to my boy Bobby the other day, I go, it's a perfect scenario. He discussed it in his live yesterday, or 12:30 this morning. We'd had our meeting on Friday. And I said, I can sit in there and we'll do a, what are we going to call it? The social house in the bakery, like a little corner, a couple of couches, stuff like that.
Yes.
So I was talking to my young fella. We're going to sit down and have a father-son chat in the bakery about working in a business together that's not just a farm and stuff like that. So start a whole different brand conversation around that.
Cool.
And to expand on lessons learnt from here, to expand. We've got stickers organised, we get the website organised, we've got the Gmail organised, aligned to maximise exposure. Because I learned from making a choice years ago to go be different, and now I get to be different again, because the amount of people, and this is the one thing that really knocks it home for me, the amount of people that have spoken to me or even called me, gone out of their day to call me and speak to me for an hour on the phone going, I think you're nuts. Like, what are you doing? Like, have you done the research? It's like, yes, I've done the research, mate. This is going to work. I've got the people waiting. I've got staff happy. I've got given the dream to the staff that are there. Yeah, I've gone, this is what I want to bring. Like, what do you guys think and what do you guys see and how can we develop this? So if they're part of the journey, because I'm not going to, it's like you can't come to a farm, as if I was to lose everything and go be a farm manager, I can't go to any farm and go, this is how you drive a tractor, this is how you drive a boom spray, go do it, done. Yeah. You've got to learn that farm that way. So it's going to be the same in the bakery. The staff that are working there now know that business. So listen to the staff, listen to the customers, have a melding of what they want, create something that works, and have a great business and be able to share that in an online space so that people see that. Then you get brand exposure and just the escalation of the whole thing. All lessons learned. So that's the big news, Muzz. You'll have to come down for a coffee, mate. We'll have a chat.
Absolutely.
We'll do a Sunday session one day live from the bakery.
Yeah, well, now that would be cool. If I could share the social house corner with you and your son, you and Jack, that'd be huge.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it's very brave of you, but obviously, looking at all these different avenues, but taking the step of jumping this other income stream, that's a pretty big thing. And we hear of it, we see of it, of people doing it within the realm of the world that they know. And whether that's like you've done before, contract spraying, contract seeding, what have you, I think that's, still good. But to have it outside of the agricultural world is huge.
Yeah,
I think
it is a country bakery in the middle of a country town, so it's not completely outside. But as a business sense, you're right. Yeah. It's the beginning of a massive journey on things, because it's like people we meet in this online space, and then people I met at that business space, and been able to share lessons that I learned at that conference with people there, like that. that whole 4 days in Melbourne doing that conference and hotels and gym every morning and business class. I'm never flying cattle class again. Right? I'm putting that into the thing. It's business class or first class. I don't care. It's just money. Just find it.
Yep.
Right? It's simple.
Good on you.
The experience, like we say with the customer experience and the chats with online, the experience when I flew business class just to Melbourne, so just over the road.
Yes.
That experience made it worth every bit of that extra couple $100. You know, to that customized service, that feeling of being special, even though I'm not. There's 8 of us at the front of the plane in that one, and there might have been 10 or 12 in another plane. Well, it doesn't matter, right? But you know, who doesn't like a little bit of preferential treatment? You know, you get on the plane, they go, business passengers first. on in the seat. Before anyone else gets on the plane, I'm already in my seat, and the host has already asked, what would you like to drink, sir? Can I get you a sparkling water? You want a Coke or whatever? You can have that. And no one else is on the plane yet. There's just us business people. And then they start to file on the cattle class, and you know, you want to drink, and hostess, bang, right there. Because you're one of the 10 or a dozen at the front, right? You're not one of the 200 that get the other car. You know, that's that sort of stuff. That's what you're paying for, right? And it's a bit the same, like when we go, if you talk businesses, like, so both businesses, online and traditional, I've not spent my money. A bit like farming too. It's not my money, it's the bank's money. Why am I spending my money, right? This is business here, right? This is smart business. Bit of debt, bit of a gamble. Yeah, we'll make money, make some profit on the other side. Then I can do something with my money. Maybe buy another one. Probably not another bakery. But, yeah, something like that. So using other people's money to get what you want, to have experiences that you like. Like I would never have, like the reason I bought that business class ticket was of the mindset, I'm going to do this big business conference. Why don't I think like a bigger business person than I have been so far? So
become the main hero in your story. And this is like feeding into what you're saying before about, you know, what's the bloody audience screaming at you in the movie theatre.
Yeah.
This feeds into,
I did research on things like, I know how much it costs to get a private jet from Perth to Melbourne. Yeah, you got to ask the question, like, what if?
You got to ask the question.
Yeah, but now I know, right? You 50 grand, you can get a 14-seater plane out of Perth, Jandakot, when you want. You fly when you want. They'll fly you to where you want to go. And there's like, if you can get it done in like a weekend, or think they'll hang there for that price. So you could fly to Melbourne for a weekend, Friday night, cross, leaving Sunday, going to the footy or whatever for your private jet. That's gangster.
Beautiful.
That's elite stuff.
Absolutely.
That's a proper flex.
Yeah.
So if I want to do that, how am I going to reverse engineer stuff like that? So I need to have $50,000 a week in disposable income. All right. So then that is 2.5 million a year in disposable income. How am I going to get 2.5 million a year? You've got to have more than one business, and it will take more than a bakery and a farm to get me there. All right. That's just the short of it. But to be able to involve, what if I buy my own private jet and I'll put a K8 on that too? So then other people who fly my private jet when I'm not flying it, I have the option to drink Kangen water. Go, wow, if I'm flying in a private jet, that tastes all right. Yeah, I'll have one of them at home too. QR code, link, bang, done. Automation, sales funnel, easy stuff, right? But it's exposure. So, you know, 1, 2, 3, kablooey. I don't know what colour the bedroom will be by then. I might even have a different, we might get an office somewhere. you know, we got
and this is all part of the dream. This is the part of the dream, the future.
Got the Hopetown house.
Oh, so that's new. Yeah.
That's been up there for a while. I got the Hopetown house. I was looking at harvesters the other day, literally yesterday.
Yep.
So keep dreaming, aim high. What else we got? Yeah, if I want big checks, like there's my little check from the universe. This grey thing here, that one there. Printed out. If you haven't read the book, The Magic, by Rhonda Byrne, get the book, The Magic. Well, I've read it at least twice. And I do my gratitude practices and stuff like that and earthing. And I've made it fit my life. So it's not a task. You know, it's all about all the evolution of business and where we're going. And that's, you know, that's the thing to share with all the farmers and truckies and veterans online here with us, is to go, all you've got to do is have a dream big enough and find a path that is not necessarily yours, but you can create your own path by taking advice from this person and advice from this person if you think it serves you. And you understand after a bit of practice what is good advice and what is not good advice. Like those people telling me not to buy a bakery, it's crazy. I don't have time to run a bakery and stuff like that. And I'm going, you're right, I don't have time to run a bakery. I'm not planning on running a bakery. I'm planning on being more of an administrator in my life. So more time in the office. So if I have to be an administrator in my life because I've got all these businesses, I've got to do payroll, all that fun stuff. Yeah, there's taxes and super contributions and child support payments because people got all these things going on in their life. All that's got to be managed. Check a few emails. And so that takes time. But if I'm in the office doing that, I need someone to cook the buns at the bakery and serve the pies and coffees and stuff like that. And I need someone to drive my tractor. So just go and get the people that you need to do your business the way you want to do it. And make there's a way to make it happen all the time. Like when I started and I applied for the trifecta, rung up, went, all right, we need to finance this. Yep, all right, here's our application. Yep, finance approved. You pay your deposit and your product will be there in a couple of months. Here's how you start an online business. Here's how you do your self-research so you know what you're talking about online. 1, 2, 3, go practice. If you need some help, reach out. Okay? We got people. The upline talks to you and all that. You know, people talk to you and we find each other like, you and I aren't linked at all through the Enagic system, apart from we are both purchasers of the same product.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're not, you know, we're helping each other through not actually being in direct team. You know, so that's part of the community that we're part of. You know, and that's the great thing about the online space. And then that business space that I did in February, the friends I've made from that, we have messenger chats and stuff like that. How you going? What's going on? So I'll get support from lots of people across. There's even some, so talk about affiliate products, like we're an affiliate business. So relevant.
Yep.
Inside the bakery, there is some local produce from a local farmer. And I've contacted that farmer. I said, I want to maintain that relationship. I like your product. It's good. Let's see if we can highlight this a little bit in the bakery. You know, how much can you supply, or how much, you know, let's have a business discussion and we'll go. If you're going to stock it, you know, what if this blows up? You know, suddenly we've got to make 10,000 jars of jam or something like that, you know. And then there's other beautiful company that I met over there in the business course. I was sitting next to the mum of the daughter that's created a chocolate company in Melbourne, in her parents' garage. Brand new, like, I don't know, 1 or 2 years old type chocolate company. I'll plug them.
Yes.
Noya Chocolate. Google that. Great chocolate.
Right.
So it's made with cacao, not cocoa.
Yes.
And it's made with water and stuff like that, not oil emulsifiers and fillers and stuff like that. So it's great.
Crap.
What's their slogan? It's chocolate that doesn't give you the shits, or something like that. Yeah, it's brutal guerrilla marketing, but it's a great product, right? And because it's made naturally in cacao and so coconut milk, not real milk, not cow milk.
Yeah.
So it's vegan. So ticks all those boxes for that sort of stuff. And I went, oh, that's good. So I can affiliate with that company within the bakery, you know, buy products at a discount, sell their products for them, and then have a brand alignment to go, right. So now you come in and get your cup of coffee, and I go, do you want your Hyde & Bush Bakehouse butter cookie, or do you want your little piece of Noi chocolate on your coffee in your takeaway cup? That'll be branded with a HBB stamp. Probably a HBB family and a QR code. Bang, you can have the loyalty program when you buy the cup. Oh, that was good. Oh, QR code, scan, right. Yep, loyalty program, sweet. 9 more coffees and then I get a free one or a birthday one. There's all these things that we get to, it's part of the, I'm not just buying a business to be greedy and take money. It's also part of sharing it, the journey of the water. Now we got the journey of how to brand something with social media, understanding rebranding a company, signage, stuff like that. So there's all these signs organised, new aprons for the staff. And you'll see me in there on the odd day, probably doing dishes with a beard net on. So, that's going to be the highlight, or that'll be the attraction point for a first couple of weeks, is when the guys, when I actually take over and I go, right, I've got to go and do dishes, sweep floors, do dishes. Because as much as I cook at home, I'm not going to tell a baker how to bake a piece of bread, right? I'm not a baker. That's flat out the truth. But I'm not going to tell this already trained and been working there for years staff member how to make a sweet chili wrap either.
It's and trust them to do what they know how to do.
Yeah. Same as when we create team members in the business and they go, all right, Muzz, here's your K8. And then, all right, now you got to start your Facebook profile. What are you going to call it? Oh, well, MurrayJPens, right? We've spoken to Bobby, had a numerological alignment and stuff like that. So we know what the J means. Like when I was started my page, and I went Stewie P Graham, because that was my middle name. I was trying to keep up with the crowd without doing the work.
Yeah.
So it's all these lessons and the sharing. So then they go, I even had one of the upline-ish, the original group I started with, one of the leaders in there reached out to me and said, how you going? How's life? We're doing a pivot within the group. So you want to come join the pivot? And we're doing this and that. It's like, yeah, cool. We'll do more teaching each other and sharing and all that sort of stuff. And all the tips. So as Bobby said to me the other day, because I was on a call with him, I think it was a projector call or something, and I shared with him, I said, I use Opus clips for reel creation, which we'll chop this up into beautiful reels after this. But to share that with Bobby, hadn't seen it, and he goes, that program for him has leveled up his business because he's got a lot of long form content, and now a lot of his stuff is on reels.
Yes.
Automated. Input video, create reels, post. Done. Right? Cool. He goes, that's so much easier. Yeah, he's got toddlers. that was part of this morning's joke. He was on half hour later than he normally would, because when he went to start it, his young fellow went, oh, I need to go to the toilet. But didn't quite. So then there's got to take his toddler to the toilet, and he didn't quite make it. So there's a clean up and stuff like that. Kids are kids. Kids make mess, right? Parenting truth. Kids will make mess. 100% guarantee. And for a long time, for all the new parents, one of the workmen's a new parent, so he's got a young baby, and I go, babies are really simple: eat, shit, sleep, repeat. Yeah, that's it. As for the interval, it's up to each individual child, as whether that's a 2-hour or 4-hour cycle, or whether they sleep or don't sleep, or teeth, or there's all these sorts of variations. Similar to the variations of brands between my brand and your brand and Scotty's brand and Alicia's brand and Bobby's brand and Kelly's brand, and then you got Balaj, the OG, his brand is fully pivoted. Like, he's proper gangster brand now. Like, what a life he's got.
Yeah.
I think I was
Diamond
talking
life.
to, was he 6A8 -8?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like it's
It's
something
up there
for his,
anyway.
the check he gets from the work he's done now is not stupid money, but it's a lot. Makes life
Yeah.
really comfortable. Like that
Yeah.
50 grand private jet to go to Melbourne for the weekend, watch the footy. That'd be great. Go get box
Absolutely.
tickets and hang out with the boys in the change rooms or something and share a cup of Kangen water with them. Go, yeah, that'll get you hydrated. That'll make you play footy better.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
to have those sort of choices in that life, he's done the work, and now he's got the life.
And now he's got out what he's put in.
Yeah, but who in his life told him he was crazy? The amount of doubters or misconceptions or misjudgments or people that think he's doing this and doing that, and he's forged a path for us to follow with our own essence, So Clint's got his version of Balage's path, and then they both share. So his GPM thing versus the Freedom Era thing. So there was, before that, there was Gaz, and then there was on whatever it was. There was other two platforms before I found TFE for the training type thing to do this online, same product, same online type space, similar lessons, but then Clint and Christy did it in their flavour, and Rebecca's in with the team now. So all that sort of stuff is the influence of life. So they've created this path for us to follow, similar to the man. I don't even have a picture of him. He's bald head too. I'm not too far off. So Mr. Sansoni taught me a few things. Had a couple of direct conversations with him, not too long, because he's got to talk to thousands of people, but to actually be able to ask him a question or shake his hand and stuff like that, get a photo with him. So I got a photo with him and Mrs. Boost Juice. What's her name? Janine Alice. There you go. So learning a lesson off Janine Alice in a one-day conference about what was her recipe for Boost Juice is something that I'm trying to take into the bakery. That sort of vibe.
And that's huge input.
Like, to improve a business, to go, yeah, cool. This will work. Happy staff, happy customers. It's going to work.
Yeah.
So that's all the beautiful news. But I think you've got places to be, mate.
I've got places to go. I'm sorry, mate. But thanks for sharing what you've been up to. I'm really excited for you, and I can't wait to finally come down and catch up with you. Yeah.
I'm sure the footy boys will come and have a coffee with you too. There's always a fair few comments on the odd occasion. Not too popular, but we get a few comments on the odd occasion in the change room. It's like, when's Murray coming to have a kick? It's like, mate, he's got stuff to do, but yeah.
Well, I don't know about having a kick. I'll have a miss, but I'll try.
Yeah. No, but we'll do a live audience Q&A in the bakery.
Oh, fuck yeah. That'll be the shot.
Hey, that'll shock them.
That'll shock them. Murray isn't an AI projected thing that Stuart's made up. He's actually a real person.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
All right, mate. I'll leave you with it.
All right.
Sign off if you don't mind. Nice skedaddle.
You sign off and I'm signing off too. So I'll spruik it out real quick.
Catch you later, mate.
Catch you, Muzz.
All right.
Thanks to all the farmers that grow all the food. We do a great job regardless of the weather. Thanks to all the truckies that truck all our goods and stuff around Australia and the rest of the world. And thanks to the veterans that are serving our country and have served our country. It's great to have this style of freedom that we have, and you can create your own freedom by doing things like Muzz and I. And if you're just getting on at the end, get back and watch the replay and see what you can come up with. Ask any questions where you like. Peace out. Have a good one, people. That's us for today.